in terms of general remarks, I'll finish this off with explaining Hegel's objective idealism in positively. Obviously, we can't, at this point, we don't have enough. And we are not reading Hegel anyway. So this is not how he argues for it, but these are his results. So Hegel's idealism it's called absolute idealism. You can also call it objective idealism. I've already sort of made remarks on this idealism's relationship with the plot. So I'll just try to explain its core concept now. So the core concept of Hegel's objective idealism is that reality is, and here he means reality as it is in itself, which can't say we can't know anything about, definitely, is an idea. You can call it a spirit, you can call it mind, in modern philosophy they're almost the same things. So that's the reality as it is. That's the reality. So in this sense, Hegel is a monist. He's not a dualist. And he's not a, obviously by definition, he's not a dualist. So he is not a trialist and all those things, or multiplicity. So how does he explain the phenomenal multiplicity of the world and dualism of the world, etc., the difference between matter and mind? He does it through the basic idea that this idea or spirit is a mere idea. So he's not talking about a mere idea. So that mere idea is an abstract idea, abstract thoughts. But the idea he's talking about is a concrete idea. That is, an idea, he's talking about the nature of reality, is not separate from reality. The reality as we find ourselves around ourselves is the expression of the idea, the basic idea, which is the nature of reality. So the nature of reality is idea, and that idea is expressing itself, or you can say externalizing itself. So the world around ourselves is the expression of an idea, externalization of idea. There's no idea separate from that reality. So in that sense, he does keep the distinction between mere abstract idea, and that's why he called his idea a concrete idea. But this externalization and expression of idea, which is reality, is a historical process. So the expression or externalization of the idea is not complete. So we can see history as the process through which the idea is expressing itself or externalizing itself, developing itself. And that process is the process of history. And once the idea has completely externalized itself, then there won't be any history. And everything would be complete and absolute, and that would be the end of the history. So in a sense, idea is expressing itself, externalizing itself continuously through history, and this process is not complete. Now, this induction of history and development into this process gives Hegel the tool through which he can say that reality is one, and also can explain the variety and multiplicity. So there's a one reality, but it is expressing itself in various dimensions and in various expressions. And funnily enough, he also keeps those two Kantian insights without actually accepting them as the final solution. He keeps the Kant's distinction between objective reality and reality as itself. How? And he keeps the Kantian bridge between truth and truth as we stand for and truth as the final truth. He keeps those inside because although idea is externalizing itself, this expressing itself, this expression is not complete. So there is, in that sense, reality as we experience is not the final version of reality as itself. So there's in a sense, idea hasn't fully expressed itself. So the reality as we experience it is not fully reality in itself. So that gulf between Kantian gulf between the objective reality and reality in itself is still there. And similarly, the gulf between truth and the final truth is there, but he doesn't have to accept these two as the final fate of knowledge, because we know that objective reality is going to finally express itself fully, and we are going to have the whole truth. So he keeps those insights without accepting them as the final verdict of the history. So I think that's a good place to stop. So we have enough Hegel now and the background to go back to Iqbal's text. So we'll do that in the next session.